Hello, everybody. You're listening to Accounting Makes Sense, an MJ the Tutor podcast, and I'm your host, MJ. In this podcast, we are focused on helping accounting students all over the world by offering a quick warm-up on various accounting and business topics, hoping to generate bigger discussions and conversations around them. For this episode, I'm going to offer a few tidbits on the operational case study, OCS, for February 2023. A few months back, I started a podcast episode format where I offer tidbits on the pre-scene materials that have just come out from CIMA. This happens for the MCS and the SCS as well. I have done one for the MCS and SCS for November 2022 exam session, and now I am doing one for the OCS for February 2023. So these tidbits are like clues, for lack of a better word, the clues that you would have into the world of the pre-scene company. Now, I know for this particular pre-scene, CIMA has released the materials a while back because it does cover both the November 2022 and February 2023 exam sessions. So if you've already gotten a copy of the OCS pre-scene, you've already read through it, you've already started formulating your own thoughts and opinions about the pre-scene company, that is okay. This episode is not going to set out to actually disagree with you on any of your opinions or thoughts, but rather that it should give you an alternative or additional perspective on the matter. Anyway, let's do our 3 tidbits from the OCS pre-scene for February 2023. A background information is that our pre-scene company is a company called Fireworks. They design, manufacture, and sell outdoor grills and are based in the fictitious European country called Beeland. Our first tidbit to share is the strategy of this company. It is noted on the pre-scene that one of the company's owners envisioned that the company provides much more than just the equipment to grill and cook food. It is a totally enriching experience. So this is something to note since it would highlight that the company may not be specifically cost-focused. Of course, cost of creating the products will be important to the bottom line of the company, but it is acknowledged that grilling or having an outdoor grill would be more of a luxurious expense, not something obtained out of necessity. And in this case, the target market for outdoor grills would be the more affluent types of customers. And in having said that, you would strive to give them more than just saving a few bucks or costs on the actual grill. It is interesting and common nowadays as more companies look to connect with consumers with regards to their purchase or product experience, especially those companies that do not sell extremely price-sensitive products. So this strategy is really something worth thinking of and how it affects decisions with regards to pricing, marketing, even cost and quality management of the company, etc. There is more comment with regards to price sensitivity and market share when we get to our second tidbit, which is coming up next. Our second tidbit to share is that there is quite a bit of market for this type of product. We are shown some numbers with regards to the global market and how much of the global market is ruled by specialist brands, regional brands, etc. It should be noted that there seems to be a lot more room for Fireworks to grow into. It's not easy since most of the global market is currently dominated by specialist brands. But in having said this, you could get a question with regards to a possible expansion into a new territory or a new region, and this would not necessarily be a bad thing for Fireworks to consider, even though Fireworks is currently just a Beeland product. There is also something to be said with regards to only having a presence in one place, Beeland. It tends to limit one's market reach, no matter how good your products are. As can be seen in the Beeland market, Fireworks is doing quite well against global brands and actually mentioned as the largest in Beeland when it comes to being a regional brand. A specific point made on why regional brands are performing better in B-land is that the B-land customers are more price sensitive when it comes to grills. Now, I want to elaborate a little more on this and possibly revert back to the first tidbit we made with regards to strategy, because I did mention that grills are generally not price-sensitive products. When looking at this like this now, you may start thinking that there is price sensitivity here, but it is now more to do with good value rather than just low prices. What I mean is, grills may not necessarily be cheap to buy, but consumers are looking to get more out of their grills than just the grill itself. The price point could be a little higher than some lower price products, but maybe the consumers are getting more features out of it, which then makes the product reasonably priced for the value that you get. There is a lot more that could be discussed with regards to strategy because it is a fascinating subject, especially when there seems to be a lot of open areas that can be explored. For example, digital technology in features, advancements, innovations, and sustainable initiatives that can be included in the grilling process. You use less charcoal, more use of electricity and gas, and that kind of thing. So I'll leave this discussion at this point since there is really a lot to talk about with regards to this. The last tidbit is the one on human resources. The pre-scene talks about the various departments involved in the running of the business. There is even a specific look at the production process, and I'm quite interested in some of the commentaries made with regards to the heads of departments, which makes me think that there could be questions touching on leadership, management, hiring, and managing performances of employees. Additionally, with the focus on the process itself, it may need a deeper look into the value chain or supply chain, and if there is some kind of disruption which could happen, how it would affect the value chain of the business and where it would affect it, and ultimately how to fix that adverse effect on the supply chain. Anyway, that is it for me today. I hope you found this episode helpful, and maybe perhaps you had the thoughts as me when it came to the OCS pre-scene for February 2023. That's good since it confirms your hunches, and if you had some other different ones, then that is also good since it gives you additional food for thought. As always, thank you for listening to Accounting Makes Sense. I am your host, MJ the Tutor. If you're keen to connect to be updated with the arrival of the next episode of this podcast or find CIMA resources online, please head on over to my website, www.mjthetutor.com. You can also hit subscribe on whichever platform you are using to listen to this podcast. If you want to connect with me on social media, I'm on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram under the name MJ the Tutor. And I hope to see you again next time. Ciao for now!